Hello everyone, welcome back to Full Circle. Interesting, you're the first guest that has been on twice, but under different aliases.
Okay, first repeat.
Yes, first repeat. You're not first repeat. I think we've had Sam Day was the first repeat.
Yeah, Alias as
first
well.
repeat under different aliases.
Alias only been on it once, minus the ADE ones, but first repeat under a new alias.
Okay, sick.
So with that being said,
technically I'm under a new alias.
Bro, you're a host now. It's your podcast.
But like, think about it. The first time I did the podcast, it was as Unknown Brains manager.
Yeah. And
then the second time was as A&R.
As A&R, true. I've been Sam through and through, and that's all it needs to be.
The first proper artist.
I'll introduce you as you are now known. The artist formerly known as Tom Wilson. Yeah. Now Mania joins us. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. It's good to have you back. Last time we saw each other was a few weeks ago, probably with more tired eyes and much more alcohol in the system at ADE. You were also there. Jake just goes dummy hard at ADE, man. I see this guy
I had a chill year.
Fleeting moments. Really?
I had a chill year.
That is cap.
I did. I had a very chill year.
You said just that you got in at 10 a.m. from an
No.
event.
But I only did that one night, though.
Yeah, you did actually.
I did only do that one night.
And to be fair, you were on it with set up for the day space as well, so we can't really complain there. It was a good performance all round. Speaking of good performance, you opened our main room for our night space event.
Yes.
Which we were talking about before was sick. You had people in there.
It was mad. It was kind of weird because everyone got in there was the thing with security. Everyone got in 20 minutes late.
We had a techie start.
But it was what it is. Like, but yeah, everyone came in and it like got filled in like 10 minutes, the room. And I was playing quite heavy for an opening set, but I was like, I saw the lineup. It's like all drum and bass. So I'm gonna go through a bit. Yeah. But it was sick, man. Honestly, the turnout was amazing, and it was such a good night.
I found it funny because obviously I was like filming the behind the scenes bits. And so, like, I was filming Thorn, like, opening the kind of upstairs room, like, doing his thing. Came downstairs, filmed you, and I think you had Jonth on the stage at that point. There was, like, 5 or 6 people in there, just, like, some of the staff. I think Arcando was, like, down there. Went out, did some filming outside, came back in, and there was, like, a good, like, 40 people just packed in that room.
And they all crowded to the front as well.
Right to the front.
Like, usually, at the start of a night, when you're throwing, like a event... Usually people are a little bit reserved, you know, because no one's like really dancing yet at the front. So everyone's kind of standing back, just drinking and like talking to their mates. No, this event, everyone just bombarded the front and just like everyone wanted the front row, you know?
It was sick. Like, I mean, NCS did you go to the NCS thing that they did like before
2019?
We were there? I think it was a night space as well, but it was
during the day. I think it was like from 7 till 12.
Okay.
Was this at like the little bar
it was a
thing?
Small one.
Yeah, it was the one with the mirror like along the right side of the wall. It was like just a long old mirror.
I think I went to that.
You did. I've got pictures of them.
Okay,
They didn't sell tickets for that. It was just like a come through kind of thing. But this time round, like obviously, I think we had a bit of apprehension before around the team of just like, I don't know like how it's going to go, like if people are going to turn up. But like even from you opening it, like there was 40, 50 people going in there. There was like 100 people outside queuing up, and it just filled up. And that downstairs room was just packed.
It was wall to wall all night,
literally
from 10:30 when they let people into the venue, when it should have been 10. But from 10:30 till what was it, 5 a.m. we finished.
5,
It was absolutely packed, wall to wall.
Yeah, it was mad.
And even like from like 3 till 5, like the back end of the room slowly started to go home because they got tired. But like that front of the room, like the front half was wall to wall.
People were dedicated, man. Like there was people that I think there's a few people in the vlog when I was just filming. You guys might have seen if you haven't gone on the channel. And there's like a behind the scenes video. There's like a few people that I think I filmed in the vlog that were just dancing, and I remember them in the queue, and then they were there like as we were packing things down and getting ready to go home. It was mad. I mean, you were talking about how cool the venue was before with the lights, the actual setup was sick for you as an artist, right?
The decks were sick. It was like CDJ 3000s, everything. Like it was like all top of the line, and that whole like all the lighting on the roof and stuff. Like I don't think I've ever been to a club like that. It's so sick. It's such a cool
unique.
vibe.
Yeah. It's quite unique
because the guy was like light DJing it as well.
Yeah,
he would send pulses. So if you guys didn't see the video, basically in Jimmy Woo where the club was, there was an upstairs room which is kind of standard.
1,000 light bulbs.
Yeah, and then the downstairs one had like just a ceiling covered with light bulbs that that next to where like Mania was playing. Do you want me to call you Mania or Tom?
Just call me Tom.
Tom,
That's
it's a
fine.
bit weird, isn't it?
Tilson.
Yeah, where Tom was playing and we had like loads of other artists on there. Next to the artist was like it was just light DJing, and just on the beat and stuff, he'd send like these pulses through these bulbs, and it just looked so cool. Like,
wouldn't it be so cool if they just had LEDs instead though?
Just color changing as well.
Yeah,
That would be mad.
For like to match the visualizer behind.
Yeah.
That would have been sick, man.
That would have been unreal. But like that was my one critique is like I love the lights, but it always felt a little bit too bright in there for me.
I know what you mean, yeah.
But that's just my personal
preference,
taste.
yeah.
Because I'm more of like, I like the dark clubs with like the big visuals and
when everyone just looks like a creature, like you just who is this human next to me?
Yeah.
No, I get you. But no, it was a sick night, and yeah, shout out to everyone that came through, to the artists that played. Like it was amazing. AD outside of that, how was it for you?
Yeah, really sick. Really good. Yeah, I just like went to quite a few like networking events, like mixes and stuff. Went to Rampage as well.
How was that? Because I missed that one.
It was sick.
Who was the headline?
It was like AMC was the headliner.
Yeah.
They were meant to have Subtronics, but he pulled out last minute, which was it was like Dr. P instead.
Okay.
But there was like Gentleman's Club, HeadX, Sota, like loads of people like that. So it was really sick.
There was even Tizoki on the lineup.
Bro, Tizoki covered. I think there's 3 of him. He played everything. Man was everywhere.
Yeah, he really
crazy.
covered the ground during ADE.
Yeah, I loved it in when he played our Actually, we spoke about this before. Just from Tom's cough. Last time we did the podcast at ADE, Jake wasn't feeling great. The one before it, I wasn't feeling great. This time, you're not feeling great.
Yeah.
I've got a cold as well, so apologies if we're
Yeah,
not.
I'm good.
I'm trying not to cough into the
You're all
microphone,
good.
but yeah.
I'm good.
Mate, send it straight down, just in their ears. Yeah, like Tizoki, he was playing the upstairs room, our event, and we pitched it originally as like kind of a house room, like it's meant to be a bit more chilled. But like as the night goes on and as it gets later and the artists are coming in to play more of the graveyard shifts, we just like, look, play what you want, like have fun.
Yeah.
And halfway through his set, he like looked at me and started laughing, and he came off, he's like, look, I just spam whatever, and I was like, and he went from like this like pretty soft like kind of just house like, and you slowly saw him like tweak, and then he just dropped some like classic Tizoki. Like, I think he played like the feelings with this like mad drop, and I was like, bro, just go for it, man. Magnus did the same thing on the closing.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
He had 3 drum and bass tracks, and they were all interested. It was good though.
But what was that last one when he was just dubbing it out?
That's a Voltage song. Yeah.
It was mad. To be fair to him, he put in the effort doing that. That was a 4 till 5 a.m. set. So just do whatever you want then, man. But it was so funny. It was just like, it was. I don't know if you guys overlap in groups, but when I have Sam Day on here, I spoke about, he's like in this, like in the best way, the soft boy producer scene. You know what I mean? There's this, it's a sweet bunch of lads. I think Harry Thorne crosses over both a little bit.
Yeah.
But you guys have your group, and that's what upstairs. It was us NCS staff. There was like a few people watching, and then it was just like you lot, and you were doing your dance moves that you've obviously. And I was like, what am I? What is like some weird seance? You were doing the like, that thing.
Shout out to Connor Ross for that one.
And then you had, what's the lawnmower thing?
Oh,
it was like, but I think you were just doing that.
We've got a bunch. There's so many. It will take the whole podcast to like basically run through all of like the why we have these dances and like where they've come from and stuff. But like they all kind of like stem from like. So we have this collective.
Yeah, who is it that's in this group?
We have a collective called The Boove.
The Boove?
The Boove, yeah. Which came about through just like playing games online and like just like inviting people into like this Discord server.
Uh-huh.
And then it kind of like grew and grew and grew, and then it just kind of got to this point where it was like a bunch of people that would come on like pretty much Discord every night, and it was really big before lockdown, and then during lockdown obviously everyone was just at home doing fuck all, and we just went on Discord every night, and there was like 20 of us, and we would just stay up till like 4 or 5 a.m.
They're the best times, man.
Yeah.
So fun.
It definitely helped like having that to get through the whole lockdown situation. But basically, you know the saying like, oh, it made the plans made it out the group chat.
Yeah.
We really try and enforce that.
Yeah,
so
I said this to Jake separately. You guys are really good at making it out the group chat.
We've done so much cool stuff, man. Honestly, like the Lake District trip.
Trip.
We did one last year. So that was kind of like the first one. There was like 14 people at that one.
Yeah.
And it was a slightly smaller house. It was still sick. It was like hot tub. We had a space where we bought like speakers. We were like DJing every night.
And
like,
we were
studio.
in the heart of the Lake District.
Yeah,
as well.
so it was like beautiful. Like we went for walks and stuff. Went like got a boat one day. Like it was sick. But then this year we kind of took it up another level. Where were we this year? Was it
Burnley?
No,
we weren't in Burnley.
No,
we were in like the countryside.
countryside.
Technically, it was the Yorkshire Dales.
Yeah. But we found this place. It was like I think Remy found it. It was like 25 of us in there. And it was insane. It was like a mansion, and then it had like a second outer house, like a games room. Like the hot tub was like a swimming pool.
Was that the one where the outside was like it was elevated?
Yeah.
There was
Did
a
you see, like,
helicopter pad.
the drone shot we did.
Yes.
So
yes.
we did like our own little 2-day festival over there. So everyone there who could DJ like played, and then like a couple of people bought drones with them. So there's like just shots of us on like the decking area outside with the
like
drone
a terrace.
going. It was so vibey.
That's
it was sick.
And the view was insane, and like just the whole thing. Like we are very good at that. I feel like
It's impressive though.
we have like those annually Lake District trips. Like 5 or 6 of us went to Milan like 2 or 3 months ago. Went to like Lake Como and stuff. Obviously we have ADE, which is like another like time, because everyone that's in the group is in music.
Yeah, sure. Well, and this is the thing is like, sorry to interrupt, is like me and Jack spoke about this a little bit before, of like, it's sick when the talent and interest draws you all together, and then you just have this group, like you're just hanging out with mates, but out of that a trap might spawn, or
100%.
or like a project
so cool.
might form. Like you called it a collective, which is the perfect way to like say that works.
It's like a little community, you know.
Everyone bounces off each other. Like you'll be in Discord one night and you'll be like, "Oh, I started this idea." You'll just show someone and they'll be like, "Do you want to jump on it?"
People will be like live streaming. Like they'll be in Discord and there'll be like 5 people, and you know, some people will be muted, and then but the person who's muted has their live stream on and they're just streaming Ableton. And then, you know, once they've like got an idea down, they'll unmute and they'll go, "Guys, jump in my stream real quick. I just need you guys' like input."
But that's
on.
sick.
And it's so like, it really is just like a lot of bouncing back and forth on like ideas and stuff. And you know, some people will be gaming, and then some people will be, you know, just watching YouTube videos. Some people will be making music, and it's like when someone's like, "Oh yeah, I need some input," everyone jumps in and like, "Yo, this is sick," or like, "This needs adjusting," and stuff. And there's also a lot of, you know, collaborations and stuff like that within the collective. So like, for example, you've worked with Tom Wigley.
Yeah, Tom Wigley. There's a track coming up January, I believe. And then
NCS community is gonna love that.
There's like Jomf did a remix with him recently on the new project.
The Fred
again.
That you and Harry did.
So me and Harry made a Fred again. Thorn made a Fred again remix like last night. Hopefully should come out tomorrow if all goes well. But yeah, just like everyone in there, I've worked on something with at some point, even if it was under my old project or whatever.
I think that's sick, and it like you've segued that very nicely. Like you got that with the old project now.
Yeah.
Now you're getting feedback on this new one. So obviously, last time we did the podcast, you were doing Tom Wilson. You're in that kind of, is it like future bass kind of sound? I don't know quite where you'd slot it.
The thing is, it was a bit of everything. It was kind of like I was trying to find my feet, and then I kind of got this like future bass like trap sound that I was making for a while, but I did a bit of like house and other stuff. So
yeah. And then we've obviously had what was that? Was that pre or post COVID? That no, it would have been after lockdown, right? When we interviewed, I think so. But either way, we've had a load of things have changed. Like we spoke about this before. There's this rise, this kind of D&B sound, which we heard on Pick Up the Pieces.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Mania project. Why have you shifted to this new alias? What's the kind of direction? What is it?
So I was just kind of finding that my old project wasn't really resonating with people in the right way. Like there are people that really liked it, but it didn't really like. I don't know. It just wasn't doing it for me. Like I didn't know what my audience was. I didn't know who I was making music for. I wasn't enjoying it anymore. It just like, I just kind of lost inspiration with it. And I kind of, like I spent some time just kind of figuring out what I wanted to do, trying a few different genres, trying a few different things. And it just kind of came around that like, I got into like drum and bass, got into that whole sound, and it's like a really cool scene. And it's very UK based as well. So there's like a lot of people around here that I can like talk to, I can like show music to, and like do sessions with. It's just really inspirational, like compared to what I was doing before. But I think it's just with as the times have changed, I've just kind of decided to change as well.
Yeah.
And rebranding that into a new package just kind of felt like the right thing to do, because it was a separate project. I was happy with what I'd done under like the Tom Wilson name, and I feel like I needed to move on to that and try something else.
That's good. I mean, I think we speak about this a lot on the podcast of like there's no way you can force creativity, and like, I think when you have a feeling or something that you're leaning into, you should, in my opinion, you should embrace that. So if you've like you've done the calculation of like, look, this just, it's not working for me, and like that should be the first thought. Like you shouldn't be putting stuff out if you're not resonating with it, if it's not fueling you to make more things. And
100%.
on this new project, like now, I mean, we've seen it with the single that you dropped 2 weeks ago now, and then we've got another one as of when this comes out will be the following week. It's obviously working for you. And I mean, let's talk about actual production styles. Is there a different approach to when you were making the last kind of sounds to this? Because we spoke before as well, like even though there's the D&B records, like you're not just limited Mania to that. Like what's the track approach?
I mean, I've kind of simplified. Like when I made songs before, it was all very based around like certain like production technique, like certain things.
Like
it was
this is how you do it.
And now it's kind of like I've simplified it, and I look at it in the way of like writing the song starts first, and then once you've got a solid idea down, that's when you bring the production from that, and like not overcomplicating it. So I feel like with a lot of the stuff before, like if it's like heavier D&B, it would be more about the sound design. If it's liquid, it would be more like about the way you write the song. But it's just kind of looking at it from like not overcomplicating it, because I did that so much. Like I feel like more simple music, but it's still like well produced, does well, because it's like
simplicity is key.
And it's also if I think there's a notion in a lot of creative things and just any product you're putting out that sometimes people think that every single gap needs to be filled, and that okay, you've done more, so therefore it's a better product, which can be true and doesn't necessarily mean that that's wrong. But we've said this before, like the feeling of something is the core of it. And if you've got a sound that like you've got, oh my god, I've only got 30 tracks in this thing, but it like the feeling, the emotion of it, like you add a bass lick to it and it might just pull it away from that world. Do you have that as an A&R? Like, is it, obviously production quality has to be there, and this is the thing, it doesn't mean that if you're taking less out, the production's not as good. It's just about crafting this sound, right? As an A&R, when you're listening, how much of it is okay, oh wow, they've the OTT on that's mad. I'm trying to say words here. The processing on that was great, compared to like, God, that just feels really good.
So sometimes I
love that question, by the way. Sorry, I never do this on the podcast, but that felt great. Thank you. You're welcome.
Sometimes I'll give feedback to artists to actually like just kind of tone it down a bit in terms of like, you know, hey, like you're doing a bit too much here. Like, you know, you gotta take some of these elements out to, you know, really actually elevate the record. Sometimes I get a demo. Actually, more often than not, what I'll do is I'll get this demo, which is completely, you know, unmixed, unmastered. Because I think that the way how I like to work with artists is like, I like to be a part of the process of building the track out as well. So I like it when artists send me a complete song, but it feels better for me if they send me a 30-second clip of like, you know, just a build and a drop, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Maybe you should do this with the breaks. Maybe you should get this singer on it. Maybe you should, you know, try out this section, and just kind of going back and forth on ideas with an artist. But I think it all kind of comes back to simplicity is key. I really do think that. But
do you mean there? Sorry to interrupt. Do you mean that it has to be simple, or like just do the basics in the best way? Do you know what I mean? Because I think sometimes that could be construed to like someone that's listening that like put 10 tracks in your song, whereas like I guess it's more of like you don't need to overdo it, right? Yeah,
you just don't need to overdo it. I think that a lot of producers in the electronic scene have this kind of, I don't want to say problem, because it's not a problem, but they have this concept that for them to be better than like the market, they need to like make their productions as full and as you know, creative and stuff like
And
that.
technically the
yeah,
best
exactly.
thing. Yeah.
Like, but like all you're doing by doing that is really hitting other producers as
Yeah.
your market.
I was gonna say, a lot of people when they start by making music for producers,
Yeah.
not for like.
But this
people,
is what you
like,
said. That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
you're shifting that sound, because
Yeah.
like it doesn't feel right. Whereas
Yeah.
like the music you're now creating, which then in turn people can tell when you're invested in it and when you're not. And then if you know, I don't know, we always speak about it, but Fred again's a good example of it, of like people care about the thing, not that it's got this tweak here and this
Yeah,
tweak
yeah.
done there. It's the feeling
It's
and
very
that you're putting
authentic,
passion
but like
in.
there's a good vibe to it.
But
so
it's
yeah,
good,
yeah.
yeah. Let's listen to music. I think let's think about some music. Let's listen to music. So you've done this before, Tom. You know,
Yeah.
We've got some upcoming tracks. The first one, Elena Cross.
Elena Cross.
Yeah, Karma. Let's give this one a listen.
Wow, this one's finally coming out.
Comes back around. Apparently, well, if it's not, I'm gonna have to cut this bit out. It's in the release schedule. Though.
Nice. Signed this one quite a while back.
Really.
Yeah.
That's just karma. That's just karma.
What do you call that?
Kind of like
Let me find a drop again.
It's
Hang on.
like
trap pop.
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it really reminds me of like Neon-y.
Yeah.
Oh
like-
yeah. Even actually the lyrical content as well feels a bit like that. And Karma, that vibe.
That's just karma.
That's nice, man.
I would say, I don't know, like it is trap pop, I think.
Yeah, for
But-
sure.
But it's also like, yeah, it's just got this alternative kind of feeling to
The
it.
dark vibe's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Super dark, yeah.
Yeah.
Neoni's a really good shout on that one. Yeah, that's a sick tune. I am that's a Halloween baby myself. Big fan of anything that's dark and spooky sound, and that one definitely ticks those boxes. All right, let's do another one. We spoke about In Touch before the podcast as well. In Touch is a legend, man. I really like that guy.
I didn't know he was coming to ADE.
Neither, no clue.
And I'm in touch with him. I'm his A&R. And
Did
I
you
didn't
mean-
even
did you
know.
mean that?
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
saw
one.
him and I was like, what the fuck? Like,
You didn't know the pun you just made, did you?
what?
You
You're
went,
in
and I'm
touch
in
with
touch with it. How did you not clock that? Yeah,
I do
no,
it all the time, but I only notice it over
it's the
text.
same with me saying full
because-
circle. Like it's the same. I
Yeah.
always mention it, and I'm like, no, really nice guy. We did a little. You guys would have seen it. We did at our ADE podcast a quick chat. Obviously, I always nerd out about Fighting Inside, and then we had Now I'm Broken off the back of that, and then coming up we've got Baby Sweet. I actually don't think I've heard this one.
Ooh.
Good track.
I'm here,
Already got those pitch vocals. Oh, we got no internet. Hang on.
I'm here when you need my voice. I'm here when you need my voice.
So 2023, 2024. That vocal, man.
I'm here
I love it.
when you need my voice. I'm here when you need my voice.
Ooh.
Oh, he's so good.
This falls under that like soft boy thing.
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
yeah.
God, he's so talented.
That's
isn't
sick. I really
Yeah.
like that.
he? He's really good. He's on a serious run. They're all going on an EP, right? I think so. Yeah.
I don't know how much.
I think they are. No, we spoke about it before. We spoke about it last podcast.
Yeah, it's an EP.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
EP.
We still need names though. That's what In Touch was asking. If you haven't commented before, stick a comment below.
In Touch EP name.
Yeah, that's a good title. Yeah, that's like weirdly. I don't know if this might not be the right way to explain this, but that doesn't feel too far from like the D&B, the kind of liquid stuff that you do. I think it's because it's again got that minimal approach, but still technically really good.
Yeah.
It's so sweet, man.
I think there is like production wise, I think there's a lot of similarities between garage and like.
Oh, for sure.
And liquid.
And
a lot of the
liquid
drums are
D&B.
quite like similar as
Yeah,
well. Yeah,
it's just that like garage is essentially a slower tempo.
Slower tempo.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, you just speed that up. It feels like that. I
You've
want to
got
get
that whole like Reese bass
Yeah,
sound
exactly.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
if that's loaded. All right. Cool.
That's subgenres in the UK though, I guess.
yeah.
I mean, like they are very close. I mean, I don't actually know when garage. What do you think came first, garage or D&B?
I reckon jungle was like
Well,
before.
I don't know.
We-
I reckon garage goes back to like.
I
the
think
80s.
garage is early because then you had like MCs and then
Mhm,
grime came
exactly.
off it, and then I think jungle came up because garage and jungle are like there's definitely a
Yeah,
tie
yeah.
over there. I think garage is the start because it all came out of like the pirate radio scene, didn't it? Yeah, UK, we're flying,
Original
baby.
pirate music.
You're listening to the streets. And then you might know this one. It's a Mania track.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Time of Our Lives.
Yes.
So let's give this one a listen. I'll skip through a little bit.
A bit more melodic.
Yeah. It's that pitch vocal, man. So fire.
So it's what?
Yeah.
Bro, it's so good. It's
Just like-
so good, man.
Have you ever like thought about just doing vocals on your own records like this,
If you're
and
gonna
then just
pitch them,
pitching
yeah.
them like
I
crazy?
have tried. I'm a bit monotone. I need a bit of practice.
I don't
Just
know. I
whack a load of auto-tune it as well.
Oh,
Just like-
I've done that. There was a really old song on Tom Wilson which had like a vocal that I'd done,
Right.
but it was more like spoken words sort of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
tried. Nah,
Wasn't
I'll try it at some
Bro,
point
what
again.
track was
but
that?
Falling Down. Do you remember that? It was on Lowly.
That was
Yeah,
yeah. Okay, I wouldn't.
that was ages ago.
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Time
That's
of,
like 2018, right?
Yeah.
Time of Our Lives. So what's the approach for that one?
I just like, so this one started like I was on Splice. I was just kind of looking for some inspiration, but I was looking through some like melodic loops.
Yeah.
And there was this like plucky ARP loop, and the drop kind of started with that, but I chopped it up and then I made like new chords, and that's where that kind of like lead came from, if you get me.
Yeah.
And it just developed from that. It was really weird how it came about. Like I made this one quite a while ago, but
Yeah.
I love this song now.
Let's play the third drop.
It's quite similar to the other drop.
Simplicity is key.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. The harmonies in this are so nice.
Thank you, man.
It's really good, bro. Really good. Really good. Yeah, I think as of this posting, let me get this right.
I believe it's 17th of November.
Yeah, 17th. So it'll
Yeah.
be next
Oh.
Friday from when this goes out. Well done. That's better than that. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Yeah, it's really interesting. I think just coming back to that project in general.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I know before we started recording, you mentioned that obviously at the moment it's in this like liquid D&B sound, but like is that exactly where you want to take it, or is there other things in the works / ready that aren't quite there?
It's really strange. So with this, it's like there's no defined sound at the moment. It's kind of like, I feel like the way I produce stuff, it sounds like a certain way.
Yeah.
But it's like literally like the day I got back from ADE, I made one of the heaviest songs I think I've ever made. And then I went on to making like some liquid again. It's just kind of like whatever I feel like.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I constrain it to one sound, I'm going to get bored. So I just like whatever I feel works, I'm gonna make, and if it's like good enough, I'll put it out. And it might not like I think over time it will develop into a more like similar sound, but I'm just having fun
I think
with it
in
at the moment.
D&B it's fine because look at Chase and Status.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
They're releasing like Badadan, and then they're releasing, you know, Blind Faith
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I know they're different times, but like, you know, they still have a very like the album they did before their last one was a jungle album.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Yeah, there's no box. You haven't got to put yourself in a box, I guess. Yeah,
For sure.
I'm just curious as to where the sound is now. Why Mania?
You know this.
Why
just
the
as
name
well.
Mania?
I'll let you explain.
So
it.
Nick, how do you say his artist name? Facading? Facading? How do you say it?
We've had Nick on before.
Yeah.
And we've asked him, and I can't remember what the response was. I think I naturally say facading.
Okay.
I say
But
for
I think it's
I
for
say for
sading.
sading,
I
yeah.
think it is for sading.
So I don't know why. He would always, so he's kind of in our group. He would
Yeah.
always come into our Discord server and just be like, so like my nickname in our group is Tilson because it's like Tom Wilson put together,
yeah.
Tilson. But he'd always be like, oh, Tilson Mania. I don't know why, but he'd always say that. But then I was like, kind of, oh, Mania is actually kind of a cool name and it fits with like drum and bass stuff. And no one else had used it. I was like, cool, let's use it. Why not?
Mania's a good name.
And he can call his fans maniacs.
Wow. You've got to get the branding up. But yeah, when you get your fandom and they're turning up with t-shirts, I am a maniac.
I'm a maniac.
Oh god.
Yeah, front of the NCS night space. There's the maniacs front row. That's funny. That's a solid name. Would you have an artist name, Jake?
I think I would just call it Tuvali.
Tuvali, yeah.
Like, I
You've
think it's
such a
got
cop-out for
such a
those questions.
nice
It's really
ring
good.
to it.
Yeah, where is that from for you?
Okay, so like,
And let's give context as
Let's
to
go
what
way
Tuvali
back.
is.
okay, so Tuvali is basically like the company that I started to get into the industry. So it was a record label to begin with, and then it was a record label and management company, and then I went and worked for Universal, and it just turned into a management company.
Yeah.
But basically, when I was 17, I created it, and I don't know. I think I watched a documentary on like climate change and stuff like that, and there was this country called Tuvalu, which is like the first one to go underwater because of climate change, like by like 2050 or something, and that like really like I don't know, like something in my brain just went, holy shit, that's crazy that like an entire country, like an entire culture, an entire like group of people who feel like so closely identified to this country, that's going to be wiped out.
Yeah.
And I found that so crazy. And for some reason I just changed the U to an I.
I remember you had that neon sign. Do you remember the neon
above
sign?
my
Yeah,
bed.
in your
Yeah,
London
yeah, yeah.
flat. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, Tuvali's a really strong name. I don't know what I'd have. I quite like. I think Mason's a good word. But then there was the bloke on X Factor. Do you remember him? That was like Mason Noise. Do you remember him?
Nah.
Mason Noise.
It's a first name as well.
That's
right?
quite cool.
Awful. So I can't have that. I can't have that. But no, Mania's a solid name for sure. And
Yeah.
I think it's it gives you that free roam as well. Like if the Mania sounds this and then you drop, like you said, this heaviest song you've ever made, no one's gonna say someone called Mania shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
great. It's really solid. All right, well, appreciate you coming through, bro. Thank you so much for coming on. Jake, you getting a regular on here now.
I am getting regular.
Let us know.
I've replaced Dan for this episode.
yeah. Dan's screen time's down. When he came on the podcast at ADE, he was like, "I'm on the podcast again." I was like, "Yeah, you are actually back." I think you and Abby can probably solo host one without me at some point. I might be ill on the next one just to see how these guys get a run at it. But yeah, thank you for coming through, Jake. Appreciate you.
Always.
Like we said, Mania next tune, Time of Our Lives, which will be out next Friday as of this coming live. So
Yep.
pre-save link, socials and all that will stick below. Make sure you follow up, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Full Circle. Peace.
Ciao.
Bye.